Hey guys, how's it going? Professor Shuckle here, and today I'm back with a Week 7 battle for DPL Season 4. I was picked to play Week 7 as well. Our Week 7 opponents are Viscash Gang, who many believe are the strongest team on paper and have a pretty fantastic record across all three formats. So we definitely have a work cut out for us. We did win Week 6, so we are up 4-2, but we were not mathematically guaranteed yet for playoffs. We could still miss out in case we got 7-0 or something, so we did need to win a couple of games, I believe, to mathematically ensure we qualify for playoffs. So, yeah, but having tough opponents definitely made that a little tougher than it should have been. So, anyway, I was picked to play Sword and Shield again, and before I jump into the matchup, just as a preface, our Rillaboom teams had a horrible matchup this week because our opponents had all the Rillaboom counters on the Sword and Shield drafts, and we had two Rillaboom drafts, which made this, like a lot tougher than it should have been. And because of that, we had to use two of the other teams for sure, and then one of the Rillaboom teams to make up for it. And because of that, nobody on our team really likes our Sword and Shield 3 draft, which is a matchup fishing team. So I decided to take one for the team and use it. So yeah, without much further ado, let's jump into the matchup. Our opponent for the week is Sebi, who I believe is a really good WGC player and has played in Worlds. I believe I've played him before in a multi-battle league about 2 years ago. So, but it's good to see him play standard draft. He's been doing really well as well, which is really good to see, like WGC players doing well in singles draft. Anyway, for this week, I'm using a team of Tapu Koko, Mew, Mega Gyarados, Gliscor, Cobalion, Raichu Alola, Audino, and Roselia. Our opponent's pulling up with a team of Tornadus T, Landorus T, Mega Charizard X, Tapu Koko, Bronzong, Alamamola, Eldegoss, and Skuntank. Just for matchup, Mega Charizard X is a huge threat as DD, Flare Blitz, Thunder Punch, Roost kind of covers my whole team. SD Scale Shock could also be a huge threat for sure. In case you thought he needed the breaking power. Tornadus T, huge threat. Don't really switch into it, and a Sludge Wave on a prediction could be really bad. Landorus T, huge threat as well. Probably going to be defensive just because Coco has a pretty good matchup. Eldegoss, which is a super good check to Gyarados, even living like a +2 crunch with relative ease. From our end, Tapu Koko, huge threat. They don't really have a lot to deal with Coco plus Raichu. Mega Gyarados can be pretty scary if they let Eldegoss get chipped and I'm able to Dragon Dance up. Gliscor can be pretty scary with SD because SD Earthquake, deal Wing Beat kind of covers this whole team barring Bronzong. And yeah, so looks like a pretty offensive matchup because initially I tried to play this a more balanced way, like how I usually do, have checks to everything and then try to win with a setup sweeper. But that didn't really work out in mocks because I didn't have enough pivoting moves to bring in my threat safely. So I decided to do an HO approach as well. So yeah, let's just jump into the team to see what we're dealing with. Starting off, we have Tapu Koko with the Shuka Berry. The investment lets it live, the 80 HP for defense lets it live an Adamant Earthquake from Landorus T even after rocks, which is really good. The rest is speed creeping Tornadus T, and the rest on special attack to twit KO Landorus T, or most variants of Landorus T, except Assault West. Dazzling Gleam, Roost, Thunderbolt, Combine. So basically stab, Combine, Roost. If we combined up, we become really hard to kill for them. And with Shuka, the goal is we can Dazzling Gleam twice to take out Landorus T, hopefully. And once Landorus T is gone, we can spam Rising Voltage with Alolan Raichu, which is the goal. So yeah. Next up, we have Mega Gyarados with a super bulky spread. This spread lives a Thunder Punch after rocks from neutral Charizard. So if we can get the Intimidate on it, we do live a Thunder Punch and then kill back with Earthquake. Enough speed to outspeed Mega Charizard X, which is Jolly Max Speed at +1. And to outspeed Scarf Lando at +2. Yeah, That's the speed 4. Yeah, and the rest in just attack. It's super bulky, meant to be a Zard check initially. To basically, the goal is to try and trade one-on-one with, like to trade Mega Charizard X for Mega Gyarados, which makes my which opens up my other mons, mostly Alolan Raichu, which can then spam Rising Voltage with Zard and Lando gone. So speaking of Alolan Raichu, we are Magnet with modest enough speed for the Landorus T in max pressure attack modest, Spidef to take on Torn Sludge Bomb a little better, and then Psychic, Rising Voltage, Surf, and Nasty Plop. Rising Voltage is just a crazy stupid move in terrain. Psychic is to hit the Zard a little harder, although I think Rising Voltage hits it harder still. Surf is for the Landorus T, and once Landorus T is gone, we just spam Rising Voltage. Nasty Plot is just in case we get the opportunity to plot up, and because if we plot up, I think it's GG, or like at least 3 kills for sure. This is also one of a really good way of revenging Charizard X, because if it's at like 30 or 40%, we will outspeed it in terrain and just knock it out with Voltage. Next up, we have Gliscor with Toxic Orb and Poison Heal. Super Spidef to take on Coco really well. Swords Dance, Earthquake, Roost, Dual Wing Beat. Swords Dance just so we don't lose to Calm Mind, Weakness Policy, bulky Coco with stored power. Dual Wing Beat, which is allowed in this league because it's stab and it hits Eldegoss and Torn really hard, as well as Lando. And then Roost for longevity. Gliscor can sit on a lot of threats and just threaten them in SD and Roost, which is really good. Next up, we have Mew with the red card. So this is more like one of our OU Mew leads from our Celesteela videos, if you look. We are running Modest with enough special attack to 2-hit KO Tornadus T, even if it's slightly bulky. And then Rest in Bulk. And red card is to force out the Torn and stuff. And maybe, hopefully, if we get Rocks up, hopefully red card straight into Zard, which will be in regular, take 50% from Rocks, which is really good. And then we can Volt Switch on it as it tries to Roost or whatever. So that's really good, like, momentum. Anyway, Stealth Rock damage on his team is really important. Stealth Rock, after Stealth Rock, I think Dazzling Gleam 2-hit KOs almost every variant of Lando. Ice Beam for the Lando, Roost for longevity, and then Volt Switch just for momentum. Volt Switch also does a good amount of damage to Almamola, doing like 40-45. Good pivoting move on Skunk Tank and stuff. And next up we have Audino with the Rocky Helmet, regen for longevity, max HP, max defense almost. Healing Wish to bring back like Mew, not Mew, but most likely Coco or Raichu, or maybe even Gyarados. If in case like we can weaken the Zard, like take out the Zard while Gyarados gets weakened, maybe we can bring him back to DD up. Or maybe even bring back Gliscor so it can start sweeping again after it's been chipped, taking out Coco. Encore in case of his setup threat. Mostly the Zard, if the Zard tries to abuse us. Knockoff, because getting rid of items is good. And then Ice Beam for the Lando and Torn. So yeah, that's the team. Our dedicated lead for the team is going to be Mew with the red card. And the goal is to try and set Rocks up early so we can pressure the Zard coming in. Because Zard is the most threatening thing to this team. So yeah, let's jump into the match. As you can see, our opponent decided to bring a team of Landorus T, Charizard X, Eldegoss, Tornadus T, Tapu Koko, and Almamola. I decided to lead Mew, as I said I would. They do lead Zard. Now, this is a really tricky play, because obviously they should Mega Evolve here. They could like DD, but also this is a Mew lead, so they might just attack it just to see what the Mew wants to do. So, in case they decide to attack, they might play is 100% to set up Rocks, which are good for the entirety of the game. And the Eldegoss will likely not come in unless the Gyarados is in. So we can definitely try to abuse that Rocks will be up until Gyarados comes in. So getting up Rocks seemed really good. Also, but if they decide to set up, then obviously Volt Switch is a better play. I wasn't sure what they would do to a Mew lead, so I decided to just click Rocks. as they do click sub but don't mega wall, which is interesting. So in hindsight, if I click Volt Switch, I would be in a pretty good spot here because I get to go into Gyarados super freely and just click just click Waterfall, or maybe even double back into Mew to on the Thunder Punch and activate my red card. So yeah, but now he Mega Evolves, I click Swords Dance, which is really scary, but I just Volt Switch and go into Audino. I believe I lived a Scale Shot from this and I could Encore it, but he just clicks Blitz and takes a lot of recall damage. But this is looking scary because it's a +2 Zard behind the sub, and it's +2. So what I decided to do here was go into Gyarados, try and bait the Thunder Punch, because I believe I did not live a +2 Thunder Punch. Go into Mew, which did live a +2 Thunder Punch, and force it out with the red card, and that means he would die to rocks on re-entry. So I decided to switch out. I didn't really think he would be sub Swords Dance, Flare Blitz, or Roost. So if he was Roost, then I could go back into Gyarados, I guess. But yeah, I just went into Mew in case he had Thunder Punch, he would get forced out. But he clicked Blitz, so Mew drops, but the Zard is gone. So basically, looking kind of bad for us because he traded 1-1 for 2 Mons when our goal was to trade Gyarados for Zard. But it's not the end of the world because Coco and Raichu can still win. So here on the double down, I thought my Coco switch was really obvious because like a Torn coming out seemed very likely from the end and Coco covered that. I really couldn't go Raichu or Gliscor here, I thought. So I went into Gyarados as he does go Eldegoss. I decided to just Dragon Dance here in case he thinks to spin, so maybe I can get off 2. But he clicks Lead Seed, which is a good play. But I just stay on Mega and DD again as he clicks Energy Ball and does 26. So he does have some investment for sure, because to do that much with Energy Ball. So I decided to just Mega Evolve now and click Crunch. It does about 78, so he is bulky, he is Helmet. So he gets to take us out with Energy Ball. But I decided to go Coco now and just Combined. As he does go Lando, so I'm trying to open up the game for Raichu and Gliscor. It doesn't Gleam now and do 45%. So as I said, it should drop to 2 Gleams basically. And once this is gone, Coco kind of wins, I believe, because I can Roost on their Coco and I'm already boosted up, so I have a head start. Torn dies to Thunderbolt. Alomomola dies. Eldegoss dies at that range too. So I definitely have a lot of plays, so I decided to go for the... I thought I killed because it did 45%. I wasn't sure what the roll was. I was just hoping 43 was like, you know, about mid-roll. But I click Dazzling Gleam and I do 38, so we literally min-maxed here and unfortunately don't get the roll. I believe the roll was like 15% in our favor or 12%, so definitely in his favor, and he does get it. I wasn't sure what roll because I hadn't hit Lando till then. But anyway, I decided to go into Raichu and I click Psychic. He doesn't have a resist, so yeah, in comes Coco. I have 1 turn left of terrain, so I click Voltage. As you see, it does 55. As he does click Combine, so now I go into Gliscor. As he clicks Roost. Here I decided to click Sword Stance, thinking this is either Shuka or Iron Weakness Policy. As he does click Combine again, he clicks Stored Power, so he was super bulky with the Weakness Policy is what I'm guessing. But Earthquake takes it out and we are still at a good amount of health, where we do beat the Eldegoss and Alomomola, but Torn might be able to take us out, especially if it's Life Orb and he does not reveal to be Boot. If he was Boots, we definitely lived and we could Roost it off or Dual Wing Beat to... I think Dual Wing Beat would have done about 50 to 60% to this. Not sure, but he does click Icy Wind. I believe this was a roll, but he gets it. I think again it was in his favor. So, and he reveals to be Life Orb, so my only play at this point is to hope he doesn't have coverage for Raichu, like he's Nasty Plot, Icy Wind, Hurricane, Heat Wave, something like that, or Sludge Wave, sorry. or he's just for attack, icy wind, sludge wave, hurricane, heat wave. But he is carrying the dark pulse and is able to take out a Raichu, so he wins 3-0. Pretty good game. Obviously, if I got this roll, I think I win, because I would have a Coco, I would have Raichu, I would have Gliscor, which kind of covered his team. But not getting the roll was really unfortunate. Of course, we didn't start really well with Zard claiming 2 Mon, so we were definitely in the back at the start. But I think I didn't really make a lot of misplays. Like, in hindsight, maybe Volt Switch was a better play on the Zard, but Rocks Up was also a really good play, so I'm not sure if I could have done anything differently. Yeah, anyway, for this week, we were game 4, and we were my team was 1-2 and I played, so 1-3, and it was really tough. Whiskish Gang also swept in like Sun and Moon to go like 1-5, but then L5 was able to pick up the win, which mathematically clinched our playoff spots. So we were third and locked and qualified as third. No team could overtake us, so that meant we play Rocky Helmet Verzions in the semis. So yeah, I'll be back with that next week. So see you till then. Bye.